Hello, Whisky Hobbit here. Today I'm reviewing the Port Charlotte MRC 01, which is now, I believe, completely discontinued. It was meant to be like a relatively limited bottling, distilled 2010, aged for 7 years, but I think released around 2018. And it was part of their new rebranding of the Port Charlotte range, which before 2018 looked quite ugly, if I'm honest. It was the same sort of bottle shape as the standard Bruichladdich, but instead of it being completely blue, obviously, which is for the Bruichladdich range, it was just clear. And they had, the Port Charlotte written on it in quite large letters. That was about it. It wasn't amazing, it was just okay. And then 2018, excellent news. Now they've got a standard 10-year-old, which is really, really good. Highly recommend it. I think I've got some. I might review. That's what I'll do. I'll review that next time. If I haven't already. I don't think I have. I don't think I have reviewed a Port Charlotte before, actually. So this is my first Port Charlotte review. But yeah, so aged for 7 years, 50% in first fill bourbon casks, 50% in second fill French wine casks, which it's kind of, I really like this one. So the Port Charlotte range, when it was reinvented in 2018, you had 3 different variations. You got the 10-year-old, which is amazing, bottle at 50%. The Isle of Barley one, which is a slightly stronger bottling, but not cask strength, I believe. I think that's about 53 to 55%. I think. Yeah, it's stronger than the 10, but not that strong. And it's quite young. And then this one, which is a bit older than the Isle of Barley, and stronger, but considerably more expensive. So when this was available, it was retailing at about £90. And I believe the new version, which is to replace this, which I can't remember the name of it, something like LRC or something. I can't quite remember. That is a little bit different. I can't remember what the difference is. I know it's something to do with the cask. I think it's still first fill bourbon cask, but I don't remember what the second fill is. But I think it is Spanish wine casks, maybe. Can't remember, but it's something along those lines. It might be a port wine or something, but it looks really cool, and I really want to try it. So yeah, this is 59.2% alcohol, and it's really good. I really liked it. I didn't really like Port Charlotte when it was the old version. Every time I tried it, it just tasted like dirt and a bit grim. It wasn't very complex. It wasn't very well put together. The new 10-year-old is fantastic. It's, I think, about the same price as the previous standard bottle of Port Charlotte, which was just called Port Charlotte Scottish Barley. And then they did Port Charlotte Isle of Barley. I think in my previous job, the Isle of Barley was about £50 or £55, and the Scottish Barley was about £45. That's what I remember. So yeah, the 10-year-old is a little bit more. This is £90. Some places it's more expensive, but it just depends where you get it from. But it's weird because it's obviously, this is younger than the 10, stronger than the 10, but considerably better worth the investment. It's absolutely fantastic. When I tasted this, I thought that's brilliant. It shows you what you can do with interesting casks and with someone who knows what they're doing in terms of mixing casks. So obviously, I think this would have tasted amazing if it was all first fill bourbon casks. Don't get me wrong, that would have been amazing. But at the end of the day, it might have just ended up being like a slightly bigger version of the 10-year-old, which isn't what they wanted, because the 10's already at 50%. So really, how much are you going to add? What's the difference? So the cask in this obviously is what you're paying for. The meticulously brilliant marriage of these two casks, cask variations, is what you're basically paying for, and it's flipping brilliant. Right? It's bloody brilliant. just going to leave that there. I did get this from my old work, hence why it says sample, not for resale. This was some staff tasting bottling. However, due to COVID, we couldn't give it out anymore, and then my shop closed, so I just took it home. There you go. Sue me. Don't. Please don't. But yeah. Anyway, so on the nose, it's really not aggressive or pungent or sharp. It's very nice. It's very almost like a fruity sponge cake. It's really good. There's quite a lot of smoke, but it's not hiding anything, because I felt with the previous Port Charlottes, the smoke was the thing that was always in the forefront, which meant that any other flavour was kind of just pushed to the back. Unless you added quite a lot of water, it was quite hard to tell what was there, and even when you did add water, it wasn't necessarily good. So yeah, it's got such a good balance of being very smoky, but also having a lot of flavour, and also being very young. It's I think it's one of the most impressive bottles of whiskey I've tried in quite a while. I remember when I tried it, I think it was my favourite whiskey of the year. It was so good. There's definitely like a winey note to it on the nose. Like it's kind of got this sharp kind of tannic, kind of almost like you've been cooking with wine or something. I don't know. It's definitely there though. It's really nice. Oh, it's weird. I was about to say, you don't notice the alcohol. It really gets you on the finish. Oh, that is amazing. It's sort of like someone has given you one of the best pieces of bacon you've ever tasted. It's got this lovely smoky, greasiness to it, kind of blueberryness, fruitiness, mapley syrupiness, all combined. So obviously the maple syrup I'm guessing from the bourbon casks, with all this fruitiness, which is probably from the wine, and it blends amazingly well. And then the smokiness for the bacon, that's yeah. So it's like an amazing breakfast whiskey. Don't have whiskey for breakfast, but it's amazing. A very long finish and just brilliantly put together. It's not the most complex whiskey in the world, but it doesn't need to be. It hits all the notes it needs to hit bang on, and I think that's a really good thing for a whiskey to be able to do. You know, I remember the amount of times I would recommend this to people who wanted a smoky whiskey, and they were like, well, I was looking to spend £60 or something, and it's only 7 years old and I've never tried it before. And then they try it and they're like, that's amazing. I wanted to spend £60. Give me that for 90. It sold itself so easily. Once people could taste it, it's just like, yeah, I get it. It makes sense. And I mean, the price is probably a reflection of how difficult it is to get those particular casks. And also the alcohol obviously is taxed more because it's cask strength. So yeah, but it's fantastic. Oh, and with water, it's like I'm walking through a vineyard. It's actually, no, it's not. It's like I'm walking through the bit where they're crushing the grapes. Lots of smells, but generally of grape. It's really good. The smoke has kind of backed down a little bit. It's more like someone's cooking sausages nearby now instead of before. So it's nice. I might have added too much water there. It's a little bit swimming in it, but it's still good. It's a bit like an overly baked pie. Just the pastries are like gone too black, but it tastes nice. It still tastes like the pie. It's just now black pie. There you go. That's Port Charlotte for you. It's fantastic. I would give this 92 out of 100. It's brilliant. It's really, really good. And if you didn't get a bottle of it, I strongly recommend, or you haven't tried it, I strongly recommend trying to find some at auction. Failing that, just get the new one. I'm sure it's going to be brilliant. I am hopefully going to try it this year when I go to the Whisky show, if it's still on, but we'll see what happens with that. But yes, yeah, fantastic. I'm sure the new one's amazing. And I really like Bruichladdich. I think they're a really cool distillery. The only thing I don't like is their packaging, specifically the amount of plastic they use. But that's more from a personal point of view, from someone who has worked in a shop and had to unpack Bruichladdich products, because it's just extremely frustrating. For some reason, every little bit has to be completely covered in plastic. The outside, there's plastic. You have to open the tube. Oh, there's plastic on the inside, of course. Why wouldn't you put plastic around the bottle inside the tube and then plastic around the outside of the tube to make sure the tube doesn't get scratched? It's something that's always frustrated me about it. Bruichladdich asked a while ago on Instagram, what do you think would be good for sustainability for us? We're thinking about getting rid of tins. What do you think? And I just said, get rid of the plastic. I couldn't give a crap about the tins. If it's not sustainable or if it's causing problems, stop that, obviously. But just sort out the amount of plastic you use. So now they've got rid of the tins, which hopefully means they're going to get rid of the plastic, because it sounds like they're trying to change it. So it's now just going to be, they'll just send it out as a bottle, just like that, hopefully. But we'll see what happens. But that's the only thing I have a slight gripe with Bruichladdich. But apart from their packaging elements, it's weird. It's really only Bruichladdich. There wasn't really anyone else who packaged it in such an irritating way, where you end up with so much plastic. There you go. Anyway, until next time.